The announcement of the CS2 has caused quite a stir in the Counter-Strike community. Counter-Strike 2 on the Source 2 engine will update the entire technical basis of the project. Closed testing has already begun, but unfortunately, only the biggest fans or streamers have access to it. Valve is calling Counter-Strike 2 a new era in the series and the biggest technical leap in its history. CS2 will be released this summer as a free update for CS::GO. In this video, we'll take a look at what this update actually entails, how the new CS differs from its predecessor, what improvements the community is hoping for, and what potential issues have already been noted by gamers. So, stock up on supplies and let's rush B. Let's start with some general details. Valve is promoting this online shooter as the biggest technical leap forward in the history of Counter-Strike, providing the game with new gameplay possibilities and content for years to come. However, the developers have stated that not all of the planned features and mechanics of the game are currently available for testing. What they are keeping secret will only be revealed during the release, which is scheduled for the summer. The testing phase will logically allow them to address any issues before the official release. Regarding smoke grenades, more specifically their smoke, it has now become a dynamic volumetric object that interacts with the environment and reacts to light, gunfire, and explosions. Smokes have the ability to interact with other in-game events, creating new opportunities. The shockwave of bullets and grenades can momentarily scatter some of the smoke, allowing you to see an enemy who is standing behind it. In other words, the smoke uses dynamic volumetric particles that interact with the surroundings, and when the character model passes through it, a silhouette appears. For example, bullets and grenades can expand or temporarily scatter the smoke. Honestly, this smoke looks a bit weird, like a beginner vapors gathering. Also, smokes will now seep through open doors and broken windows, travel up and down stairs, spread in long corridors, and merge with other smoke. Additionally, smoke particles work with the general lighting system, providing more realistic lighting and color. Previously, servers only calculated changes on the map at specific intervals. The tick rate no longer matters for movement, shooting, or grenade throwing. This update is one of the most important features added to the second Counter-Strike. Previously, the server evaluated match events only in discrete time intervals called ticks. Thanks to the architecture of sub-ticks in the CS2 server, it knows with surgical precision when movement starts, shooting occurs, or a grenade is thrown. With the upgraded server architecture, regardless of the tick rate, movement and shooting will be equally sensitive and precise, and grenades will always follow the same trajectory, so to speak, without outside interference. Let's talk about another major update, the map update in Counter-Strike 2. There are three categories of maps: standard ones like Dust 2 that haven't undergone significant changes, improved ones like Nuke that have been enhanced using Source 2 tools, and those that have been recreated from scratch, such as Overpass. These maps will be brighter and cleaner in terms of design and will receive improvements in some important aspects. Valve has rebuilt not all maps from scratch, but some have undergone more significant changes. Let's start with their own location. These areas have been completely rebuilt from scratch using all the new Source 2 tools and rendering engine. They use new lighting, including a physical rendering system that will create realistic images on your screen and improve picture quality. The authors have also improved all assets and textures. As I said, standard maps have not undergone a complete overhaul. These are just classic, time-tested locations where players can appreciate the basic differences between CS:GO and CS2. They also have improved lighting, and the ability to read enemy model movements has become more advanced. There were no other significant changes made to them. In addition, the developers have completely updated the user interface, adding more decorative elements and changing icons. Source 2 tools and its rendering functions will be available to map designers and community map developers to make it easier for them to create new locations. Valve has promised to open the Source 2 item workshop a little later. Many people are wondering what will happen to their inventory and precious skins. All of your CS::GO inventory will be transferred to Counter-Strike 2, and not only will you keep all the items and achievements you collected over the years, but they will also look better with improved textures, materials, and lighting. Additionally, all standard weapons have been updated and improved with high-resolution texture models. By the way, now you can see your character's legs in CS, so Valve has added the ability to add skins for shoes, like red sneakers, for example. I should note that there are some serious bugs with the legs, which move in a very awkward and unrealistic way. And Valve has added more immersion, so now you can shoot your opponent's legs. The graphics, visual effects, and effects from explosions, fire, and shots have been updated in Counter-Strike 2. The game has undergone significant changes thanks to the updated particle system and better lighting. The behavior of water physics, tracer bullets, and impact effects has also changed significantly. These are the most important visual effects of gameplay and environment. Bullet impacts are easy to see from a distance, and blood puddles, which disappear over time, have a clear direction depending on where the shot came from. As Valve claims, they were redesigned with the convenience of player reading in mind. These graphical enhancements have improved visual accuracy and a more logical sequence, as the game's authors explain. Now they don't allow players to get lost in the game, whatever that may mean. The audio component was also reworked and rebalanced. The sounds were adjusted to better reflect the physical environment and what's happening around the player. However, players were not satisfied with the sound of flash grenades, which were very loud and unpleasant and caused discomfort. Let's see if Valve can fix these issues. In the beta test, there are 2 modes available, including a standard mode with a bomb, but you'll have to settle for just one map, Dust 2. Some players who have already played have shared their first impressions, but their opinions are divided. Most players have been waiting for such a big upgrade to Counter-Strike and are satisfied, but many are not fond of the updated color palette. Some gameplay changes, as they say, can have a very negative impact on the esports component. However, there are also many positive changes. Almost all pro players like the better visibility of the maps. Most streamers note that the maps have changed, but have remained essentially the same, which is a plus for those who play at a professional level and have been honing their tactics for years. FPS in the game dropped by about 30% depending on the situation. In my opinion, the game is still very buggy at this stage. There are many unpolished elements, bugs, and small but unpleasant details that need to be worked on. These include strange smoke effects, problems with the movement of model legs, or sound bugs. There is also a problem with the aim displacement bug that was impossible to adjust if you don't know console commands. Sooner or later, more and more players will start receiving invitations to the beta test, just like it was with Dota 2. It is extremely necessary for them to have players help the studio solve problems and polish the game that will ultimately take the place of CS:GO in the esports scene. Valve will reveal more details about the new Counter-Strike to find out what other secrets Lord Gabe Newell has prepared. I remind you that Counter-Strike 2 will be free and released in the summer for PC, with no news yet about a console release. Now Gabe has collected his Infinity Gauntlet with Team Fortress 2, Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike 2. No more games will be released from them. Of course, feel free to write a comment on this topic. Are you also waiting for Counter-Strike 2? Share your thoughts. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Stay with us, it's going to get even more interesting from here on out. See you on Subgamer. Watch and play with us.